Keypoint Health Services. You think you're big, you think you're untouchable. You stand tall with your towering buildings and your vast resources, casting a long shadow over the lives of countless individuals. You believe that your size and influence make you invincible, that no one can challenge your authority or question your practices. You're just a big lumbering elephant. You move through the world with a heavy, unyielding presence, crushing everything in your path without a second thought. Your sheer size and power make you seem unstoppable, a force of nature that no one can stand against. But guess what? Even elephants can fall, no matter how mighty you appear. No matter how invincible you think you are, there are always cracks in your armor, there are always weaknesses that can be exploited, vulnerabilities that can be exposed, and when those weaknesses are found, even the mightiest can be brought to their knees. You're used to stomping on people like me. You think we're powerless. You believe that because we don't have your resources, your influence, or your connections, we can't fight back. You see us as insignificant, as obstacles to be brushed aside without a second thought. You're wrong. I may not have your size, but I have something else. I have determination, I have resilience, and I have the will to fight. I may be small in comparison, but I am not weak, I am not powerless. I am a force to be reckoned with, and I will not be silenced. I have the spirit of David. Like the young shepherd who faced the giant Goliath, I have the courage to stand up to you, to challenge you, and to fight for what is right. I may not have a sword or a shield, but I have my own weapons, my own strengths, and my own determination. And I have my weapon of choice, the reticulated python. This creature, with its strength and tenacity, represents my fight. It symbolizes the power and determination that I bring to this struggle, the unyielding spirit that refuses to be defeated. This python, it represents my fight. It embodies the strength and resilience that I bring to this battle, the unrelenting determination to stand up to you and to fight for what is right. It is a symbol of my resolve, my commitment, and my unwavering spirit. It represents the fight of everyone who has been stepped on by Keypoint Health Services. It stands for all those who have been marginalized, ignored, and oppressed by your actions. It is a symbol of our collective struggle, our shared determination to stand up to you and to demand justice. This isn't just about me. This is about all of us. This is about a community that has been wronged, a group of individuals who have been mistreated and ignored. This is about standing up for what is right, for what is just, and for what is fair. This is about a system that's broken, a system that has failed to protect the vulnerable, that has allowed injustice to flourish, and that has prioritized profit over people. It is a system that is in desperate need of change, of reform, and of accountability. A system that preys on the vulnerable. A system that takes advantage of those who are in need, that exploits their weaknesses and their vulnerabilities for its own gain. It is a system that must be challenged, that must be held accountable, and that must be changed. A system that needs to change. It is a system that cannot continue as it is, that cannot be allowed to perpetuate its injustices and its abuses. It is a system that must be reformed, that must be held accountable, and that must be transformed. Key point. Health Services, you've awakened a sleeping giant. You have stirred a force that you cannot control, a movement that you cannot stop. You have underestimated the power of the people, the strength of our resolve, and the depth of our determination. You've underestimated the power of the people you claim to help. You have failed to see the strength in our unity, the power in our collective voice, and the determination in our hearts. We are not just individuals, we are a community, a force to be reckoned with. Get ready for a fight. This is not a battle that you can win easily. This is not a struggle that you can ignore. We are ready, we are determined, and we will not back down. The fight for justice, for fairness, and for accountability has begun, and we will see it through to the end. This isn't just a one-time thing, this is a pattern that has been repeating itself over and over again across different states, different cities, and different communities. It's a systemic issue that has been festering for years, and it's only getting worse. Mental health programs across the country are shutting down. Clinics that once provided essential services to those in need are closing their doors, leaving countless individuals without the support they desperately require. These closures are not isolated incidents, they are part of a larger, more troubling trend. Why? Because they're more interested in profits than in people. The focus has shifted from providing care to maximizing revenue. Administrators and executives are making decisions based on financial gain rather than the well-being of their patients. This profit-driven mentality is eroding the very foundation of our mental health system. They're bleeding patients dry, taking everything they can. Patients are being charged exorbitant fees for services that are often subpar or even harmful. Insurance companies are complicit, denying coverage for necessary treatments and medications, forcing patients to pay out of pocket or go without care altogether. These programs are supposed to help. They're meant to provide a safe space for individuals to seek support, to find solace, and to begin their journey towards healing. But instead, they have become a source of further trauma and exploitation. They're supposed to be a lifeline for people struggling with mental health issues. Instead, they've become predators. These institutions prey on the vulnerable, taking advantage of their desperation and their need for help. They promise hope and deliver despair. They see dollar signs instead of human beings. To them, patients are not individuals with unique needs and experiences. They are revenue streams, opportunities to be exploited for financial gain. This dehumanizing perspective is at the heart of the problem. They see vulnerability as an opportunity to exploit. This has to stop. People are suffering. Lives are being ruined. The mental health system is supposed to be a place of refuge, a place where individuals can find the help they need to overcome their struggles, but instead it has become a place of fear and exploitation. And Key Point Health Services, you're right in the middle of it. Your practices are emblematic of the larger issues plaguing the mental health system. It's time for accountability. It's time for change. We must demand better for those who are suffering. We must demand a mental health system that prioritizes people over profits, care over cash, and healing over harm. You take our money, you take it without a second thought, without a hint of remorse. You take what little we have, what we depend on to survive. You take every penny of our SSI, SSDI, every single cent that is meant to help us get by, to help us live with some semblance of security. You strip us of our financial lifeline. You leave us with nothing but despair and hopelessness. You leave us to wonder how we will make it through another day, another week, another month. Scraps. How do you sleep at night? How do you close your eyes knowing that we are left with barely enough to eat, with barely enough to keep a roof over our heads? How do you find peace when we are tormented by worry and fear? You know what that money is for. It's for our basic needs. It's for the essentials that keep us alive and healthy. It's for the bills that pile up, for the medications that keep us going. It's for our basic needs. Food, shelter, the very things that every human being deserves, the very things that you take away from us without a second thought, a chance to live with dignity. But you don't care. You don't care about our dignity, our well-being, our lives. You only care about your own gain, your own profit. You see it as your personal piggy bank, a source of easy money, a way to enrich yourself at our expense. You see our suffering as an opportunity. You use it to line your pockets, to fund your lavish lifestyle, to increase your wealth. You use our hardship to your advantage without a shred of guilt, while we struggle to survive. While we fight to keep our heads above water, to provide for our families, to maintain some semblance of normalcy, we see what you're doing, we know your game, we know that you are exploiting us, taking advantage of our vulnerability. We are not blind to your actions. You can't hide from the truth will come out. And when it does, you will be held accountable. You will face the consequences of your greed and your cruelty. Section 4. The walls are closing in, the economy is a mess, people are struggling to make ends meet, and Trump's policies don't even get me started. They're only making things worse. But here's the thing, Key Point Health Services, I don't care. I don't care about your excuses. I don't care about your justifications. The government gave you money for our care. So stop crying poverty. Stop blaming everyone else. Do your job. Section 5. Ignoring the cries for help. You ignore our calls, you dismiss our concerns, you act like we're invisible. Well, guess what? We're not invisible. We're real people with real problems, and we're tired of being ignored. You're playing with fire, Key Point Health Services? You're playing with people's lives, and the consequences will be severe. This isn't a game, this is about life and death, and you're on the wrong side. Section 6. A day of reckoning. You think you've won? You think you can just walk away from this? Think again, there's a day of reckoning coming, and on that day, you will be held accountable. You will answer for your greed. You will answer for your negligence. You will answer for the pain you have caused. This isn't a threat, it's a promise. Section 7. The reticulated Python's final warning. This is your final warning. Key Point Health Services. Change your ways. Start treating people with respect. Start using the money you receive for its intended purpose. God is watching, and his wrath is coming. Don't think you can escape it. You mess with me, you mess with God, and the consequences will be severe. This is my mega super dare to you. Do the right thing before it's too late.